Hello and welcome. This is episode 6 of the free plugins series. The star of today's show is this plugin here. It's the CodeRedFree by Shattered Glass Audio. This is an emulation of the Red consoles built by the engineers at Abbey Road Studios many years ago. There were 3 different versions of this console. There was the Red 51, the Red 37 and the Red 17. The Red 37 was eventually quite famously sold on to Lenny Kravitz. Now, when I'm looking at emulations of old equipment, I'm less concerned with how closely they've managed to emulate it and more concerned with how it sounds and what exactly I can use it for. So let's have a look at the plugin in a bit more detail. Let's have a look at the various controls on it, and obviously we'll then round out the video with some audio demonstrations of what it can do. So starting at the top, we've got a pair of VU meters. Now the manual indicates that 0 VU here equals -18 dB full scale. So next down we have a 3-band fixed frequency type EQ. So if you're looking to carve up your frequencies, this isn't really the one to do it with. This is more of a sweetening EQ rather than your notching things out type EQ. Going to start with the low shelf EQ. This unusually has a very high turnover frequency placed at 500 Hertz. We go next to the mid-frequency EQ, and this is a bell type EQ, and this has a fixed frequency of 5K. Okay, just above this then, we then have the high shelf EQ. Now this can be switched between 2 different turnover frequencies. Down here, we can switch between them. In classic mode, the turnover frequency is 7K. However, if we then switch to pop mode, we now have a fixed frequency of 3K, so it goes a lot further down in the frequency spectrum. Down below here, we have a bass boost. This is a shelf type EQ as well, fixed frequency of 80 Hertz and a boost of 10 dB when engaged. Next, down below here, we have our input volume. This is the input for a preamp. On the plus side, it's got plus 24 dB, and turning it down, it goes all the way to infinity, to the point where you can't hear the sound anymore. Next, we go over here and we have a dry-wet control. So we can do parallel processing right within the plugin. Very handy. Next, we have a 4-way mode switch. Starting on the left, the one labeled M means mono. So this is for monophonic material, and it will convert a stereo signal into mono as well. In this mode, the controls are ganged together. That is, it doesn't matter which one you move, left or right, both of them move by the same amount at the same time. Next up, we have mid-side stereo. In this case, the left-hand side controls control the mid, and the right-hand side controls control the side signal. Next, we have a normal stereo mode. But in this mode, you can control the left and right controls separately to each other. So we can affect the left and right signals separately. The last one of these, the 4th one, LS, I think of this in my head as being locked stereo. That is still a normal stereo signal, but our controls are ganged together for this one. Down below this, we have the output fader. So if things are getting a little bit hot, then we can just turn down the signal, or if it's gotten too quiet for some reason, we can turn the signal up. Now on my screen, this plugin doesn't quite fit on the screen. I do need to scroll down to see the last part of it down here, but then again, my screen resolution is 1366 by 768, thereabouts. And then down below here, we have the ability to both load and save presets. Okay, now it is time to actually hear it in action. So yet again, I've got overheads on drums. That's what we got. Okay, so let's start with the EQ. I'm going to go for a high shelf in classic mode. Let's have a listen, let's play and adjust. Okay, quite nice. Bypass. Okay, so you get a nice little brightening of the top end. It brought out the hi-hat a little bit more as well, but pretty gentle curves really. Let's hear what it does the opposite direction. Okay, that's the high shelf. Let's go for the mid band now. The mid band is preset at 5K. Let's have a listen to that. So yeah, again, pretty gentle. You can bring out some mid-frequency detail with the 5K bell. It doesn't get overly harsh. Next, we have our low shelf EQ, fixed at the unusually high turnover frequency of 500 Hertz. Let's have a listen to it in action. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Okay, it's made our signal a little bit louder. So let's just bring that down a bit. And let's bypass it. Right, it really makes the kick thump a lot, doesn't it? So let's have a listen to this bass boost. So 80 Hertz, it's a low shelf and it's a 10 dB boost. Let's have a listen. And off. Okay, so next we're going to go to the input level. Now we can go up to plus 24 dB on this. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to keep an eye on our levels over here. Make sure that we're not getting too loud. So we want to be level matching all the time to hear the difference that this is making. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to bring it, while it's playing back, just going to bring it to this first dot here, or the first notch, whatever you want to call it. And let's hear how that affects it. Quite a difference. So what I want to do now is level match it. It's introduced a little bit more volume, a little bit more level. Let's just level match that. Okay, that's pretty good. And let's bypass it. Oh, it's a big difference. Back in. Without it. And with it. Okay, let's push this a little bit further and let's bring it to the next dot or next notch, whatever you want to call it, whilst playing back. Let's level match. Let's bypass. Wow, yeah. It's quite a difference. It's actually starting to make the signal sound even louder now. Let's go back into it, level match still. Okay, So let's go even to the next notch again. Let's go for that. I'm going to stop for a moment. Just pay attention to the level meters here. It's almost like we've put a limiter on it. Just have a look where the level meters are just sticking just above -18. Bring it down a bit. See the way the level meters are sticking? Bypass. That's really getting quite over the top. If we were to push it any further, it's going to get very, very distorted. But let's go for it. Let's bring down the output level first. Getting a lot of distortion. Okay, seeing as we have it sounding like that, let's go all the way dry on here, on our parallel processing part. Let's play back again. Just bring up the output volume a bit again. And let's introduce some of that lovely distortion. Yeah. That's quite effective. Let's bypass it. Without it. And let's introduce it back in again. So there it is, CodeRedFree by Shattered Glass Audio. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.